I can't really get into specifics on my last name. It's legal issues going on right now. We won't get into that. But I am a co-creator and / co-founder of Joo Bear and Screaming Brain Comics. The whole way we came up with Joo Bear was just an ongoing joke between four of us after seeing, what was it? Inglourious Bastards. One of the main characters on there, known as the Bear Jew, was the biggest and baddest of that group of the killers in the movie. And since I was the biggest one of the group, and with my hair at the time going curly and even my sideburns starting to go curly, they said I started to look Jewish. So I became the Bear Jew. And one day on a road trip in St. Louis, after two of my friends were incredibly drunk, they started inverting and slurring all their words, and Bear Jew became Joo Bear for whatever reason. It sounded better to them, so even afterwards, Joo Bear just stuck. So from time to time, we'd always joke about Joo Bear and the crazy things that Joo Bear would do. And one day, watching a pay-per-view at Hooters, during, I guess, a boring spell, we just started talking about Joo Bear and hypothetically what kind of things would go into a Joo Bear comic book. And about an hour later, we had a bunch of crazy ideas, and I didn't think they were going to go anywhere. I didn't think Julio was serious about actually doing the comic book about it. And then, you know, he just kept asking for more ideas, and eventually he sent me an email that said, I did the first page of Joo Bear, here's the artwork for it, now we need a script. So it just went from there. We kind of threw in our ideas on a road trip to Dixon, Illinois for a horrible excuse for a convention, which was just one room with merchandise in it. We threw out a bunch of ideas for Joo Bear, and then Rory started working on the script. So he just took everything that we had and, you know, is making a script out of it, and it should be out soon. Sometime in December. Rory's thinking about Christmas. I'm leaning more towards at some point during Hanukkah because he is Jewish. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I don't know. This all just came up from a joke and happened when some of us were drunk and just started throwing crazy ideas out, and that's what it is. And then hopefully once Joo Bear is done, we have a couple of other ideas for other books just based on stupid things that we do and inside jokes that we have going. There's one called Box Wars that should be up next. It's based on a game that we play while we're in the car. Whenever you see a Scion XB that just looks like a box, it's like slug bugs with V-dubs. You call out Box Wars and you get a point for that. So always making jokes about that every time we're in the car. Now we're turning that one into a book. That one I'm really working on more of the script of. Julio's still going to do the artwork. Rory's going to input on other scripts. And I don't know, it's just going to go from there. But I didn't think we were serious about any of this. I thought we were always just joking around. And then Julio finally just said, just write everything down. We're going to put it together. And that's about it.
Hi, I'm Roy Bautista, co-writer of Joo Bear, part of Screaming Brain Productions, of which I am also co-founder. 28 years old. Am I 28? No, not. 28 years old. When I'm not writing, I work at this wonderful comic shop, Amazing Fantasy Books and Comics, located 582 Torrance Avenue in Calumet City. I thought they were 100% joking about this, by the way, so I wasn't entirely serious, but they were just throwing around ideas for a comic, and I was just bullshitting with them, just making up stuff that, thinking, you know, they really wouldn't use this for anything, but turns out they did. And now I'm kind of stuck writing this, because they didn't ask me or anything. I'm just, 1 week later, they said, hey, get some pages done. And so I'm pretty much stuck doing this until either they don't like me or I grow bored with it. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to do my best, despite, you know, kind of being enslaved or forced into this. Every issue is going to focus on pretty much a different genre. The first one's going to be a very Friday the 13th, like, horror thing, you know, monster in the woods chasing people, sexy campers getting mauled, you know, crazy shrines. Second one, I haven't decided, is either going to be a like late 50s sci-fi thing or just 70s kung fu, which is just going to be called Red Ass Beatdown in Chinese. I'm sorry, pardon the language. Fourth one's definitely going to be early 80s action movies a la Rambo and whatnot. But yeah, and also through that I'm trying to introduce a cast of characters. There's going to be Stupid Hunters, Gunton Heine, Rasta Sasquatch, which is pretty much all I need to know about him to understand him. Hitler's brain in a... I forgot which monkey I decided on. You know Rafiki from The Lion King? That one. That monkey. Point is, the brain is located at the end of his tailbone, which looks like it's near his crotch. There's going to be a crazy old rabbi called Minolta. He's kind of based off that really disgusting Chinese monk dude from The Golden Child, you know, the one that wipes snot on his robes and whatnot, calls everyone asswipe. Be kind of like that. And then, if we have time, maybe the origins of Joo Bear himself.
I'm Julio A. Guerra, co-creator and founder for Joo Bear and Screaming Brain Comics. I am the artist on the books that were described earlier, Box Wars and Joo Bear. Basically, my influences come from back in the day, artists like Kirby, to Jim Lee, Jason Scott Campbell, Michael Turner, and then graffiti artists too, like Cope 2, Mark Echo, of course. So it varies, man. The different styles we're gonna have in Joo Bear range from everything from graffiti to cartoonish to legit comic book realism, like what it is now. I'm trying to steer away from seeing the same old stuff you see in the book. Because to me right now, everything's repetitive. Everyone's trying to be the same. No one's trying to expand or nothing. So we're trying to bring all that towards this book. Basically, going about drawing it, I have to go through the writers, which would be Ben and Rory at the time, or who's writing it now. Where it goes is we usually come together, BS, try to come out with ideas. Rory writes it down on paper. Then from there, whatever we talk about and whatnot, I get visions and try to picture it and how I want to do it. Like when we went to Hooters or whatever, Rory was BSing about panel 1, page 1, whatever, and the whole time I was seeing it, had to go home right away, drop it off. So basically that's how we do it, is you write it, I draw it. It usually takes a day per page, and that's just pencils. Then later on we'll have to go on and ink it, you know, pop it out a little bit, and then we'll go from publishing from there. The reason why we got into it, I've been a comic book fan since I was born. That was my thing, is I want to break into the business. And at the time I was doing another book for this guy in California called NS. And it was really slow motion, and I felt different when I was drawing it. So we did, you know, talked about Joo Bear and whatnot. It really inspired me a lot more. So I talked to a lot of people about it. It's like, yeah, we're tossing this idea around, and it got a lot of positive vibes back. So with that, it made me want to do it more, and like just want to do it. Like every day I keep going, like, man, I got to draw today, or I at least got to do sketches and whatnot. That's another big part of the process, is you got to do character sketches first before you go ahead and just do the actual pages, because you got to know how they look. You got to keep them looking the same. So you got to sit there, work on the different face expressions and whatnot, and just keep them going. So if the guy's screaming or whatnot, you can't have him look different as opposed if he's standing there face front and just looking at you, you know. So that's another part of the process. But we're shooting for December. December is the month of Joo Bear. As far as release date, we're talking about Hanukkah or Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Right now we're doing a webcomic. It's going to be a webcomic for right now. We are going to do some publication for it, so there will be some hard copies floating around. More than likely you'll be able to find them at the AF store in Cal City. You can hit us up on Facebook. Just type in Screaming Brain Comics. On there you'll see all the commercials we did on YouTube for Joo Bear. You also see the first cover for it, and you keep updated on what we're doing. I think the last update was that we're doing the sketches and whatnot, and now that we got the pages written out, we're going to go ahead and start rocking those out. So December, Joo Bear, check us on Facebook, website coming soon, and issue number 1, 3rd week or 4th week of December.